And today I want us to look at the types or forms of nationalism. One, to begin with, we have what we call civic nationalism. We are looking at types of nationalism. Civic nationalism in Africa focuses on shared values and citizenship rather than ethnic or cultural characteristics. It emphasizes inclusivity and democratic principles. So civic nationalism in Africa, we say it focuses on shared values and citizenship rather than ethnic or cultural characteristics. So let us look at some of the examples that can give us a good image of civic nationalism. Let us first look at South Africa. Post-apartheid South Africa is a prominent example of what we call civic nationalism. So the new national identity emphasized inclusivity and equality, integrating what we call diverse ethnic groups under a common democratic framework altogether. So the Constitution of South Africa is designed to ensure equal rights for all citizens, regardless of their ethnic background. So if you look at South Africa experienced what we call apartheid. Apartheid took place in South Africa in the past years, where people were discriminated, looking at the color, looking at the race, among others, and this created chaos. A lot of things in South Africa. Chaos broke up in South Africa due to apartheid. If you remember very well, during the time of Nelson Mandela, who even was imprisoned by the whites, and later on, after spending 25 years, he was released. But so South Africa is one of the good countries that you can look at, and it can give out what we call a good image of civic nationalism altogether. So South Africa is having a constitution. Its constitution is well designed, looking at the actually enforcing equality in terms of rights. Whereby all people within South Africa, they have equal rights altogether, not looking at specific groups, not looking at someone's language, not looking at someone's height or someone's color, but at least to ensure that all people enjoy the privileges. When you go to Ghana, the Ghanaians nationalism under Kwame Nkrumah focused on the idea of unified national states. Kwame Nkrumah's government emphasized the national unity and civic pride, promoting citizenship and equal rights across different ethnic groups. In Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana, he focused on promoting equality, focused on promoting oneness, focused on ensuring that all people are equal before the law. All people are equal regardless of what you are, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your height, your size, your color. Kwame Nkrumah focused on promoting what we call Ghanaian nationalism. Altogether, we have the second type of nationalism, ethnic nationalism. The first nationalism we had, the first type is the civic. Then we have ethnic nationalism. Ethnic nationalism in Africa is based on the idea that nationalism should be composed of individuals who share a common ethnic background. Altogether, examples. We have the Hutu and the Tutsi nationalism in Rwanda. Remember the genocide that took place in Rwanda, whereby we had the different groups of Rwanda people fighting, the Tutsi, the Hutu, and during that genocide, many people died. People lost their lives in a useless way. So in the Rwandan genocide of 1994 was driven by the intense ethnic nationalism. So the Hutu extremists are targeting the Tutsi minorities. Ethnic identity was manipulated to instill violence and divisions. So if you look at Rwanda, in 1944, it experienced what we call a genocide, whereby the Tutsi people and the Hutu people were not in good terms. The Hutu extremists were targeting the Tutsi minorities. And at the end of the day, a lot of bloodshed was observed in Rwanda, and still up to date, that thing is still at on people's heads. People still remember what happened in Rwanda. We have the Biafran and the Biafran War. The Biafra and the Biafran War also gives it out. So the sensationalist movement in Nigeria led by the Igbo people, aimed to create an independent state of Biafra. So this movement was fueled by ethnic nationalism, seeking autonomy based on ethnic identity and cultural heritage. Altogether, so those are some of the examples that fall under what we call ethnic nationalism. The first examples we looked at, they are falling under what we call civic nationalism. Then we are going on type 3 of nationalism. Type 3 is cultural nationalism. Cultural nationalism in Africa focuses on what we call the presentation. We say that I beg your pardon. Cultural nationalism in Africa focuses on the preservation and promotion of cultural heritage, including traditions, language, and arts. Altogether, a good example. Let us look at some of the examples. Pan-Africanism. We say that although border than a single nation, Pan-Africanism promotes African cultural unity and identity. It emphasizes the value of African heritage and works towards the revival and promotion of African cultural practices and languages. We have the Swahili revival in East Africa. There has been a push to promote Swahili as a unifying cultural and linguistic element. Swahili is seen as a symbol of cultural identity and unity across multiple countries in East Africa. So those are some of the good examples under this type of nationalism called cultural nationalism. We have religious nationalism. Religious nationalism links national identity with religious identity, advocating for a state or national or state or nation that reflects specific religious values and practices. Are we together? Below we have Nigeria, that is northern states. So in the northern Nigeria, religious nationalism is evident in the emphasis on Islamic principle in governance. Sharia law is implemented in the same states, reflecting the religious identity of the majority Muslim population. We have the Mauritania So the country has a predominantly Muslim population, and Islamic principles influence the legal and the political system. Religious nationalism is reflected in the integration of Islamic law into what we call national legislation. Then we have liberal nationalism. Liberal nationalism combines nationalistic sentiments with liberal democratic principle, emphasizing national self-determination, which while upholding what we call individual rights and the democratic governance. A good example, we have Botswana. Botswana has emphasized liberal nationalism by promoting democratic governance and national identity while respecting ethnic diversity. So the country has a stable democratic system and emphasizes civic rights and in conclusion, Kenya's post-independence effort has included liberal nationalistic ideas, focusing on democratic principles and national unity while navigating ethnic diversity. So the 2010 constitution aimed to promote democratic governance and equal rights. So I beg to submit from here. Have a good day.